Ken Tamplin here. I'm here to talk to you about the voice. For those of you that know me, you know me as a blue-eyed soul singer or a rock singer who's got 30 records out and has toured the world with a lot of major recording groups over the years. I'm also, got these things called Dove Awards. I got 3 Dove Awards. They're kind of like gospel Grammys, and I have 14 nominations. And I've placed a ton of music in film and TV. I'm a guitar player as well. But most of you guys know me as a singer. And I, in fact, have had the privilege of working with a lot of different vocal coaches over the years. But one in particular is a vocal coach by the name of Ron Anderson. Ron you may know because he was the main coach for shows like American Idol and Rockstar. But what Ron's really known for is actually helping some of the greats out there, like Kelly Clarkson and Alicia Keys and Josh Stone, and just a lot of well-known. Goes on tour with the Chili Peppers, etc. But anyway, Ron teaches an old school style of singing. It's the old bel canto style of singing. Bel meaning beautiful, canto meaning singing. And I'm thoroughly convinced that that is probably maybe the only true vocal method for sustaining durability, endurance, pitch, control, recovery, all the things that we need to maintain great vocal health. Well, I've actually applied a few things myself over the years. Again, like I said, I've toured the world many times on a lot of stages under a lot of conditions. And when you're singing live, it's a lot different than a vocal coach in your room kind of teaching you some scales and stuff. But the application of how you apply that to a live situation is considerably different than just singing under a controlled situation. So I've developed some things that are, I think, critical to singing. When you're in a live situation, there could be all kinds of variables. You could be nervous. You could be a little hoarse. You could have not slept well the night before. You could be eating poorly. You could have bad monitors. You could be out of breath, or you could have just kind of hurt yourself vocally and not know how to recover from that. Or you could be in a different time zone and you haven't caught up to the time zone yet. There's lots and lots of things that come into play in a live environment. Well, I've developed something called KenTamplinVocalAcademy.com, and I'd love to show you how you can actually sing like a rock pop star. For me, I have all kinds of different things that I've developed that will give you better endurance, better pitch, a range to die for, endurance like you've never experienced before, and also a way to recover in case you get a cold or flu and get sick and or hurt yourself in a live environment and not really know how to recover from certain situations. So with that said, I wanted to talk a little bit more about the voice itself. There are lots of different methods, as I've mentioned, but I want to talk specifically about range. There are what is called the chest voice and the head voice. So people sort of usually think of them as two different things, chest and head, right? And then there's this little area in the middle that's kind of this uncomfortable froggy thing that you go through. So that little break that happens in the middle. I'll teach you how to connect your chest with your head, going through that area. It's called the passaggio or passageway, and turn that into one long, powerful, amazing note. Let me explain. Now, I just was able to connect that whole sound without that little funky register break with very little effort, just keeping my chest 3/4 full. I've got great diaphragm support. I've opened my throat, and I've got nice crystal clear clarity. Let me demonstrate this in another way. You might say, Ken, well, that's kind of a neat heavy metal sound, but I'm not really a heavy metal singer. I'm an R&B guy. Well, you can apply it to R&B too. It's it doesn't really matter what it is. Let me give you one more example. Let's use a female soprano note. In fact, I shouldn't even be singing that as a tenor, but I'll use the E vowel, which is one of the hardest vowel sounds to sing. Check this out. Okay, so now what I've done is I've actually controlled my breath. I've kept my chest cavity 3/4 open. I pushed down on the diaphragm, and I've opened my throat in a certain way and cut back the air to give me that power and range I'm looking for without pushing, without forcing, without powering through the note and muscling my chest into my head. So with that said, come along, let me show you how it's done. It's KenTamplinVocalAcademy.com. I know you won't be disappointed. Ready? Let's get started.